Okay, hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about the Pythagorean Theorem. Now, this is one of my most favorite topics in all of math because I find it so cool. So you can see that there's a triangle there. Now, that's called a right triangle, and we can get rid of that. Awesome. And the reason it's called a right triangle is because it has a right angle. Perfect. So we just drew that right angle. And now remember, a right angle always means 90 degrees. So the angle inside of that triangle is 90 degrees. So oftentimes what we're going to have is we're going to try to figure out the unknown side. So just for curiosity, the very bottom leg, and it's called a leg of the triangle, is going to be 3 centimeters. We're also going to know that the height of the triangle, or the other leg that connects the right angle, because that's how you know that they are legs, is that they connect at a right angle, is going to be 4 centimeters. And just out of curiosity, because we don't know what that longish looking line that connects the triangle is, so we're going to use a variable and we're going to say that that is c. So that's what we're trying to find. Now, Pythagoras was a very, very interesting guy. He was a Greek mathematician, and he actually came up with this theorem. So he says that there's a similar relationship that's true for all right triangles. And in a right triangle, the area of the square on, on the hypotenuse, which is that long line that we recognize as C in this picture, is equal to or the same as the areas of the squares of the legs, which I find very cool. So he came up with this theorem, and it was named after him, called the Pythagorean Theorem. So here is the formula for the Pythagorean Theorem. It is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And then actually after that, you're able to just quickly, use the formula to your advantage and solve. So we know that a squared, which is always the smallest leg, is 3. So we will go 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. And this is exactly how Pythagoras wanted us to do this. So it's very cool. Now, very quickly, we're just going to go 3 squared means 3 times 3, so 3 squared is 9. 4 times 4 is 4 squared, which is 16, which equals c squared. So next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add your like terms. So you have 2 constant terms there with 9 and 16. So you're going to add those, and that comes to 25. So 25 equals c squared. Now, we still want to solve this algebraically, which means we want to get c all by itself. And because you have c squared, the best way to get c all by himself is to do a square root. So we're going to square root that side. Now, because this is an equation and we know that equals means the same as, we have to do it to the other side. So what's going to happen on the right side is that the square root of c squared is c, because it was squared, now it's not. So we can put on that right side c. Now, we know from learning about our square numbers or just knowing perfect squares that 25 is a perfect square. Now, we know that the square root of 25 is 5 because 5 times 5 is always 25. Therefore, the square root of 25 will be 5. So if the bottom of our equation looks like 5 equals c, we know that the hypotenuse, which is that long line on the right triangle that is not connected to the right angle, the hypotenuse is c, then we now know that c is equal to 5. Now, whenever you see something like that with 3 whole numbers, that is a very easy way to do it. And just using the formula is probably going to be your best bet at solving these equations. So we also know that this would be kind of a perfect right triangle in the way that there is 3, 4, and 5. So you won't always get whole numbers, but in this case it works. So that's just your quick synopsis on how we want you to solve these questions regarding Pythagorean theorem. And I hope that this helped you guys.